shonen or seinen, isekai or slice of life. Which anime genres are must-watch, and which are just plain overhyped? In this video, I'm ranking all the major anime genres, from F tier to S tier, with examples, personal takes, cultural context, and maybe just a tiny dash of controversy. Because let's be real, not every genre delivers. Some are drowning in cliches, while others surprise you with a depth you'd never expect. Whether you're new to anime or a hardcore fan, this list will give you some guidance, and definitely plenty to argue about. Uneventful, slow, calm. Slice of life is everyday life turned into anime. It's all about friendship, little moments, life phases, and emotional growth. No wars, no monsters, just school hallways, rainy afternoons, and deep conversations. Defined by relaxation, empathy, and the ability to connect with real feelings, Slice of Life is the perfect genre to unwind. It slows things down and focuses on characters instead of plot. Sometimes sad, sometimes heartwarming, but always human. If you love losing yourself in characters that feel real, Slice of Life is your jam. Sure, some call it too boring, and it often gets flack for lacking a clear storyline, but for me, it's a solid 7 out of 10, landing comfortably in B tier. Music anime might be a niche, but it's a beautiful one. They tell stories of passion, talent, failure, and inspiration. They make music visible through movement, rhythm, and raw emotion in every frame. Music anime shine with emotional impact, creative visuals, and often powerful characters. What's amazing is that many of these series aren't just about music. They're about growing up, self-doubt, love, and heartbreak. If you're looking for emotional stories with an artistic twist, this genre is full of hidden gems, underrated but packed with potential, which is why I'm giving it a solid 8 out of 10, placing it in high A tier. A single male protagonist being romantically pursued by multiple female characters, what sounds like a dream scenario has its own name in the anime world: Herm. The setup can appear in comedy, romance, or even action stories, but the core formula is always the same. One main character, several love interests. Its appeal is easy to understand. The tension between the potential partners, the dynamics of competition, and the fan attachment to favorite characters keep the genre entertaining. But harem also comes with its usual weaknesses. Characters often feel stereotypical, situations can get absurdly unrealistic, and emotional depth is frequently sacrificed for light drama or jokes. The real draw is the fantasy. What if 5 completely different dream girls or guys suddenly all wanted you? Good harem anime stand out through thoughtful character development, emotional maturity, and believable resolutions to the love triangles. Bad ones just recycle the same jokes and setups until every twist feels predictable. In the end, it's a genre with a loyal fan base, but definitely not for everyone. My rating, 6.5 out of 10, a solid B tier. I got transported to another world. That single sentence is the essence of the isekai genre. The protagonist dies, falls through a portal, or gets summoned, and wakes up in a fantasy world, often with some overpowered ability. Isekai thrives on clear adventure structures, a sense of wonder, and often a fun mix of action and comedy. It's an easy entry point for newcomers because the concept is immediately accessible. Normal world, new world. But seasoned viewers notice the biggest drawback: fast repetition. Many isekai series feel like carbon copies, featuring overpowered leads, RPG-inspired worlds, harem subplots, and the inevitable save-the-world scenario. The best isekai stories break the mold by establishing unique rules and exploring deeper themes, like identity, responsibility, or even mortality. These gems prove the genre can be more than pure escapism, which explains why it's so wildly popular. My rating, 6.5 out of 10, another B tier. Shonen is probably the most famous anime genre of them all. Originally aimed at boys aged 12 to 18, today it captivates fans of all ages, and the reason is obvious. Shonen combines adventure, friendship, rivalry, and personal growth into an irresistible mix. The main characters chase big dreams, face tough challenges, and grow before our eyes. At its heart, shonen is all about thrilling battles, strong team dynamics, and clear moral messages that inspire and motivate. Classics like Naruto, One Piece, My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, or Attack on Titan show just how versatile this genre can be. It shines with high energy, emotional highs, and is perfect for newcomers to anime. Of course, shonen often follows a familiar pattern: training arc, tournament arc, final boss. Over time, that can feel predictable. Still, shonen remains a true classic. When done well, it never gets boring. It's often the very first genre that hooks new anime fans, and for good reason. 9 out of 10, solid A tier. Shojo literally means girl and was originally aimed at girls between 10 and 18, but the genre offers way more than just cute love stories. Shojo dives into themes like identity, first love, insecurity, friendship, and self-discovery. It's all about strong emotional development, delicate visual storytelling, and deeply personal character arcs. Classics like Fruits Basket or Sailor Moon show how diverse shoujo can be. Its strengths lie in emotional depth, compelling female leads, and often a stylish, expressive art style. Of course, it's not without its cliches, but a good shoujo hits you right in the heart, honest, direct, and sometimes heartbreakingly sad. If you love character-driven drama and big emotions, this genre delivers. Still, it's not really my cup of tea, so I'm giving it a 4 out of 10, D tier. Science fiction is one of anime's most versatile genres, spanning from high-tech dystopias and gritty cyberpunk to deep questions about AI and what it means to be human. At its core, sci-fi often circles around one central question: how does technology change our lives? Titles like Akira or Planets showcase the full spectrum of what the genre can do. Its strengths lie in visual creativity, complex visions of the future, and tackling big social and philosophical themes. Sci-fi anime is often political, thought-provoking, and anything but comfortable. It raises questions without giving easy answers, but it can also be challenging. Dense terminology, complex worlds, and a certain emotional distance can make it tough for newcomers. Some shows feel cold or sterile, which ironically makes them even more striking and intellectually engaging. If you're willing to dive in, sci-fi offers anime with real depth and style, perfect for anyone who loves to look beyond the horizon and see technology with a soul. My rating, 8.5 out of 10, A tier. Ecchi is fan service, plain and simple. It's all about risque scenes, awkwardly funny situations, and plenty of exposed skin. Without ever going fully explicit, think of it as the little brother of hentai. Less extreme, but still laser focused on erotic visuals. Examples like High School DxD or Prison School show exactly what this genre is about. Its strengths, flashy visuals, instant entertainment, and often a self-aware, over-the-top tone. Its weaknesses, just as obvious: shallow characters, minimal plot, and lots of repetition. The story is often the bare minimum, because let's be honest, it's all about what's shown, not what's told. Sure, there are rare exceptions where ecchi comes with a decent story, but that's not the norm. For some, it's a classic guilty pleasure. For others, a total waste of time. If you're looking for deep storytelling and character development, you probably won't find it here. But if you know exactly what you came for, ecchi delivers it without hesitation. My rating, 5 out of 10, C tier. Comedy is one of the trickiest genres because humor is completely subjective. What makes one person laugh might leave the next totally stone-faced, and in anime, things get even trickier. A lot of jokes rely on Japanese wordplay, cultural references, or straight-up slapstick, and that doesn't always land outside of Japan. Shows like Nichiju or Grand Blue show just how wildly different comedy anime can be. The strengths, fast pacing, creative gags, and characters who often dive headfirst into total chaos and somehow become even more lovable because of it. Of course, there are weaknesses too. Some series rely heavily on repetition, others go so over the top that the joke burns out fast, and not every type of humor translates well. Good comedy anime feel like pure dopamine, unpredictable, over the top, charming, and sometimes even surprisingly deep. If you want to laugh, this genre is worth checking out. Just don't expect every series to hit. My rating, 5 out of 10, C tier. Fantasy is one of anime's oldest and most beloved genres. It's all about new worlds, epic heroes' journeys, and massive conflicts. But not all fantasy is the same. Some series are dark, brutal, and complex like Berserk, while others are colorful, playful, and adventurous like Attack on Titan. The genre's strengths lie in its boundless creative freedom, often stunning world building, and strong escapism that lets you lose yourself in a completely new reality. Of course, fantasy also has its weaknesses. Many stories feel generic, follow the classic good versus evil formula, or get bogged down in endless exposition. Over-the-top power scaling without real consequences can also kill the tension. But when fantasy is done right, it's absolutely captivating, emotionally, visually, and thematically. This is the genre for big ideas, big feelings, and unlimited imagination. If you're looking for a world to get lost in, fantasy delivers. Because the genre ranges from brilliant to overdone, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10, B tier. Sports anime are a rush of adrenaline, team spirit, heartbreaking losses, and thrilling comebacks. Whether it's soccer, basketball, volleyball, or boxing, this genre takes real-world sports and turns them into emotional journeys full of tension, rivalry, and personal growth. Shows like Slam Dunk or Kuroko's Basketball prove just how versatile sports anime can be. Its strengths lie in clear goals, intense character development, and a contagious sense of motivation. Of course, the genre often follows a familiar formula: lose, train, and come back to win. Predictable? Maybe. But that doesn't kill the emotional impact, because at its core, sports anime isn't just about the sport. It's about people, ambition, self-doubt, and the dynamics of working as a team. That's where the magic happens. You cheer, you suffer, you hope, and somehow you end up inspired yourself. Great sports anime make you want to move, believe in yourself, and push your limits. 9 out of 10, A tier. Horror anime are not for the faint of heart, and not just because of blood, monsters, or violence. The genre thrives on atmosphere, psychological tension, and that creeping feeling that something is fundamentally wrong. It's less about quick jump scares and more about a lingering, unsettling dread. Titles like Uzumaki or Tokyo Ghoul show the range horror anime can cover. The strengths are clear: dense, haunting moods, striking visual styles, and a willingness to push boundaries, thematically and aesthetically. That said, not every horror anime goes deep. Some lean heavily on shock value and grotesque imagery, but artists like Junji Ito have defined the genre with nightmarish ideas and a style that makes the ordinary feel terrifying. Personally, I think horror works even better in manga than anime. It's slower, more subtle, and leaves more room for your imagination to wander. If you're looking for unease and love, testing your limits, horror anime can deliver, but expect some hits and misses. My rating, 6 out of 10, C tier. Romance is the emotional core of so many anime, often underrated, yet full of stories that really hit you right in the heart. At its center are relationships, first love, heartbreak, intimacy, and all the little misunderstandings, the moments that move you and stay with you. Shows like Blue Box or Your Name show how incredibly diverse this genre can be. Its strengths lie in emotional intensity, strong character focus, and how easily you can see yourself in these stories. Of course, there are familiar weaknesses too. Love triangles, misunderstandings, and overly dramatic twists can feel exhausting if overused. But the good romance anime avoid cheap melodrama, telling honest stories about closeness with all its insecurities, highs, and lows. Whether it's the main plot or a side story, romance almost always works when the chemistry between characters feels real. If you want to laugh, cheer, and maybe even cry a little, give this genre a chance, because sometimes it's the quiet, heartfelt stories that stick with you the longest. My rating, 10 out of 10, A tier. Mecha is the genre of giant battle robots, but it's about way more than just metal smashing metal. It blends action with themes like war, politics, ethics, and technology. Rooted in the 70s and 80s, Mecha is one of anime's most iconic and historically influential genres. Its strengths lie in deep conflicts, complex world building, and often jaw-dropping visual spectacle. It's not just about battles, it's also about war trauma, political intrigue, and moral dilemmas. That said, the genre isn't the easiest to get into. It's often technical, dialogue heavy, and can feel emotionally distant for some viewers. It isn't light entertainment, but if you're willing to dive in, it rewards you with a mix of tragedy, philosophy, and futuristic tension. Perfect for anyone seeking sci-fi with substance, less so for pure action fans. For me, it's a 5 out of 10, C tier. Josei is basically shojo for adults, a genre aimed at an older audience that focuses on reality over fantasy. Here, it's not about fairy tale princes or over-the-top drama. It's about real relationships, daily struggles, careers, love, self-doubt, family, and societal expectations. The stories are more mature, more honest, and often emotionally profound. Its strengths lie in lifelike characters, believable emotional growth, and a calm, reflective storytelling style. Of course, this genre isn't for everyone. It can feel slow, understated, and requires patience. If you're looking for high-stakes action or pure escapism, you won't find it here. But that's exactly Josei's strength. It doesn't sugarcoat life. It shows it in all its facets, with quiet moments, hard choices, and genuine emotion. If you're after stories with depth and authenticity, Josei is a genre worth exploring. 8 out of 10, A tier. Seinen is aimed at an older audience, but calling it just shonen for adults doesn't do it justice. Seinen anime are often more serious, complex, and thematically deep. They explore death, trauma, loneliness, politics, society, violence, or sexuality, and they rarely offer easy answers. Characters are often morally gray, the storytelling is slow or heavy, and the atmosphere is thick with psychological tension. Seinen's strengths lie in its moral complexity, narrative freedom, and willingness to ask difficult questions. For newcomers, the genre can feel dense, disturbing, or even brutal. It demands attention and sometimes emotional resilience, but that's exactly the appeal. Seinen doesn't just entertain, it challenges you and makes you think. If you're looking for manga or anime with literary depth and real substance, this is the genre to call home. There's no other genre that moves and inspires me like this one. 11 out of 10, the only one I put in S tier. And that's my full breakdown of all the major anime genres, from overhyped fan service to literary masterpieces. Of course, this is just my opinion, and anime thrives on the fact that everyone has their own taste. Maybe you love Isekai, or maybe seinen just isn't for you. So tell me, which genre is your clear S tier, and which one would you kick off the list entirely? Drop your tier lists in the comments, I can't wait to see them. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe for more anime, manga, and Elden Ring content.